Welcome back to United Daily Updates, your most trusted source for everything Manchester United. If you have not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do that right now because we bring you the latest news, match analysis, transfer updates, and behind-the-scenes content that every true Red Devils fan needs to stay informed. Today we are diving deep into something really interesting about the upcoming match against Fulham at Old Trafford. Imagine you are reading about Manchester United preparing for their next match. You see the predicted lineup. You see familiar names like Harry Maguire, Casemiro, and Kobbie Mainoo. Everything seems normal. But then you spot something odd. Players who do not actually play for Manchester United are listed in the starting 11. Wait, what? How did Bryan Mbeumo from Brentford end up in a Manchester United lineup prediction? What about Matheus Cunha, who plays for Wolves? And Benjamin Sesko from RB Leipzig? This is exactly what we found when we looked at a recent article predicting the Manchester United lineup for the Fulham match. Today we are going to break down what is true, what does not make sense, and why these kinds of mix-ups happen in football coverage. By the end of this story, you will know exactly what to expect from the real Manchester United squad heading into this crucial Premier League fixture. Let me start with what is actually true and confirmed. Michael Carrick is currently the interim head coach of Manchester United. Yes, that Michael Carrick. The same player who wore the red shirt with pride for over a decade and lifted countless trophies at Old Trafford. He took over the role in mid-January 2026 and so far things have been going really well. Carrick has started his second spell in the United dugout with two impressive wins. First, he guided the team to victory against Manchester City in the derby. Then he followed that up with another big win against Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. 2 wins from 2 games against 2 of the biggest teams in England. Not a bad start at all, right? The atmosphere around Old Trafford has changed. Players seem more confident. The tactics look sharper. Fans are starting to believe again. Now Carrick faces a different kind of test against Fulham. This is not about facing a top 6 rival with world-class players. This is about breaking down a team that will likely sit deep and defend. Can United show they can win different types of matches? Before we get into the confusing parts, let me tell you about the players who definitely are part of Manchester United right now. These are the names you should expect to see when United line up against Fulham this weekend. In goal we have Sen Lammens. The Belgian goalkeeper has been outstanding since he arrived at the club. He has brought back confidence to a position that had been a problem area for United. Lammens makes good decisions, commands his box well, and has produced some crucial saves in the recent wins. The defense has found some stability too. Diogo Dalot is playing as a traditional right-back in a flat-back 4 and he looks much better in this role. Harry Maguire has rediscovered his form at centre-back. The England defender put in an excellent performance against Arsenal and looks like the player who once captained this club. Alongside him is Lisandro Martinez, who brings aggression and quality on the ball. Luke Shaw is fit again and providing experience on the left side of defense. In midfield, Casemiro has been superb. The Brazilian is playing like the world-class defensive midfielder United thought they were getting when they signed him. He is breaking up play, controlling the tempo, and even contributing going forward. This is supposed to be his farewell tour as he plans to leave at the end of the season, but right now he is playing some of his best football in a United shirt. Next to Casemiro is Kobbie Mainoo. The young English midfielder is one of the most exciting prospects at the club. At just 20 years old, Mainoo plays with maturity beyond his years. He can pass, he can tackle, he can carry the ball forward. Some people are even saying his recent form might earn him a spot in the England squad for the World Cup this summer. That shows you how highly rated he is becoming. Bruno Fernandes remains the creative heartbeat of this team. The Portuguese midfielder creates chances, scores goals, and leads by example. Then there is Amad Diallo, who has been in fantastic form recently. The young winger has pace, skill, and an eye for goal. He has been causing defenders all sorts of problems. Patrick Dorgu was another player mentioned in the original article, but unfortunately he has picked up an injury. Carrick confirmed it is more serious than they first thought, so Dorgu will miss the Fulham match. This is a blow because the young defender had been performing well. So we have talked about the real Manchester United players who are available for the Fulham match. Everything makes sense so far. But then we get to the part of the article that raised major red flags. 3 players are listed in the predicted Manchester United lineup who do not actually play for the club. Let me explain each one. The article mentions Bryan Mbeumo as a Manchester United player who has been playing as a centre-forward. It even describes him as Cameroonian and praises how good he has been in that position. There is just one massive problem with all of this. Bryan Mbeumo plays for Brentford, not Manchester United. Mbeumo is a talented forward who has scored plenty of goals for Brentford in the Premier League. He is quick, he is clinical, and he has been one of the better attacking players outside the traditional top 6 clubs. But he wears the red and white stripes of Brentford, not the red of Manchester United. Also, the article calls him Cameroonian, which is not quite accurate. Mbeumo was born in France and he represents France internationally. His family has Cameroonian heritage, which is where the confusion might come from, but his nationality is French. So we have two errors in one sentence. Wrong club and wrong nationality. Could Mbeumo join Manchester United in the future? Maybe. The transfer window brings surprises every year. But as of right now, when this article was published and as we head into the Fulham match, Bryan Mbeumo is definitely not a Manchester United player. He will not be starting at centre-forward for United this weekend because he will probably be preparing to play for Brentford in their own match. Next up we have Matheus Cunha. The article suggests that with Patrick Dorgu injured, Cunha has to start on the left wing for Manchester United. It mentions his strong performance at the Emirates Stadium against Arsenal. Again, there is a fundamental problem here. Matheus Cunha plays for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Cunha is a Brazilian forward who joined Wolves and has become one of their most important players. He can play across the front line, he scores goals, he creates chances, and he works hard for the team. Wolves fans love him because he gives everything in every match. But he is their player, not Manchester United player. The article makes it sound like Cunha played for United against Arsenal at the Emirates. But that match was between Manchester United and Arsenal. Wolves were not involved. Cunha could not have had a performance at the Emirates for United because he was probably playing for Wolves in a completely different match that same weekend. Now I will say that Cunha is exactly the type of player Manchester United could use. He has quality, he has versatility, and he has the right mentality. There have been some rumours in the past linking him with bigger clubs. But linking a player with a club and actually having that player at the club are two very different things. As things stand, Cunha will be playing for Wolves this weekend, not for Manchester United against Fulham. The third player who appears in this confusing lineup prediction is Benjamin Sesko. The article mentions him as a potential replacement for Ahmad if Carrick decides to make changes. It suggests Sesko could come in as a striker option. Once again we have the same issue. Sesko does not play for Manchester United. He plays for RB Leipzig in Germany. Sesko is a young Slovenian forward who has been making waves in European football. He is tall, he is powerful, he can finish with both feet, and he has a bright future ahead of him. Leipzig signed him as one of their most promising young talents and he has been developing well in the Bundesliga. Manchester United have been linked with Sesko in various transfer rumours over the past year or so. Many big clubs have been watching him because strikers with his profile are hard to find. Young, tall, quick, good in the air, and capable of leading the line. These are qualities that top teams always want. But being linked with a player in the media is completely different from actually signing that player. Transfer rumours happen all the time. Every transfer window brings hundreds of stories about players potentially moving to different clubs. Most of them never actually happen. Until a player signs a contract, passes a medical, and gets announced officially by the club, they are not a player for that team. So while Sesko might be an interesting target for Manchester United in the future, he cannot start for them against Fulham this weekend. He will be busy preparing for RB Leipzig matches in the Bundesliga and possibly the Champions League. You might be wondering how an article about Manchester United predicted lineup could include 3 players who clearly do not play for the club. This is a really good question and it happens more often than you might think in modern football media. Let me explain some of the reasons. First, there is the speed of content creation. Football websites and blogs need to produce articles constantly. Fans want to read about their teams every single day. Match previews, transfer rumours, injury updates, tactical analysis, player interviews. The demand for content is huge. Sometimes in the rush to publish articles quickly, mistakes happen. Facts do not get checked properly. Information gets mixed up. Second, there are the transfer rumours and speculation. During transfer windows especially, players get linked with so many different clubs. A writer might see that Manchester United are interested in Bryan Mbeumo or Benjamin Sesko. They might read several articles about these potential signings. Then when they write their own article about the predicted lineup, they accidentally include these players as if the transfers have already happened. The line between speculation and reality gets blurred. Third, some articles might be exploring hypothetical scenarios. What if Manchester United signed these players? How would the team look? Where would they fit in the starting 11? But sometimes these hypothetical pieces do not make it clear enough that they are talking about imaginary situations rather than actual reality. Readers can get confused about whether they are reading facts or fantasy. Fourth, there is the problem of automated content or translation errors. Some websites use artificial intelligence or automated systems to help create articles. Sometimes these systems pull information from different sources and combine them incorrectly. Or if content is being translated from one language to another, mistakes can happen that change the meaning. Fifth, there could be confusion with similar-sounding names or players who have moved clubs recently. Football has thousands of professional players across different leagues. Sometimes writers mix up players or forget which team someone currently plays for, especially if there have been recent transfers. Whatever the reason, these kind of errors are frustrating for fans who want accurate information. This is exactly why we started United Daily Updates. We check our facts. We verify information. We make sure that what we tell you about Manchester United is actually true and reliable. This is why your trust in us means everything. Now let me give you what you actually came here for. A realistic prediction of the Manchester United lineup against Fulham based on actual Manchester United players who are actually available to play. In goal, Sen Lamens should start. He has been excellent and there is no reason to change. The back four is likely to be Diogo Dalot at right back, Harry Maguire and Lisandro Martinez as the centre-back partnership, and Luke Shaw at left back. This defense has looked solid in the recent wins and Carrick will probably stick with what is working. In central midfield we should see Casemiro and Kobbie Mainoo again. These two have developed a good understanding and they balance each other well. Casemiro provides the defensive shield and experience. Mainoo offers energy, pressing, and quality on the ball. Together they give United control in the middle of the park. Further forward, Bruno Fernandes will play in his usual number 10 role. He is the captain, the creator, and the leader of this team. On the right wing, Amad Diallo should keep his place after his recent performances. He has been one of United's best attacking players and deserves to continue. The left wing is where things get interesting because Patrick Dorgu is injured. Carrick has a few options here. He could move Marcus Rashford to the left if Rashford is available and in the right frame of mind. Rashford is a natural left winger who can stretch defenses with his pace. Alternatively, Alejandro Garnacho could start on the left. The young Argentine has shown flashes of brilliance this season and would bring energy and directness. Up front as a central striker, this is probably where Rasmus Højlund comes in. The Danish forward has been working hard to establish himself as United main number 9. He is young, he is learning, and he is improving. Against a team like Fulham who will likely defend deep, having a physical presence up front will be important. So a realistic Manchester United lineup might look like this. Lamens in goal. Dalot, Maguire, Martinez, and Shaw across the back four. Casemiro and Mainoo in central midfield. Amad on the right wing, Bruno Fernandes as the number 10, Rashford or Garnacho on the left wing, and Højlund leading the line. That is a strong team using actual Manchester United players. Michael Carrick was asked about whether he needs to change his tactical approach for the Fulham match compared to the wins over City and Arsenal. His answer showed good understanding of what it takes to succeed as a manager. He said that each game is different and you have to adapt to the challenge in front of you. Against Manchester City and Arsenal, United faced teams who wanted to control the ball and attack. That gave United opportunities to defend well, win the ball back, and hit on the counter-attack. Both City and Arsenal play with high defensive lines which create space in behind for quick forwards to exploit. United did this brilliantly in both matches. Fulham under Marco Silva will present a very different challenge. They are expected to play much deeper. They will set up in 2 banks of 4. They will look to stay compact and organized. They will make it hard for United to find space in dangerous areas. This is the kind of match where United have sometimes struggled in recent seasons. How do you break down a team that is happy to sit back and defend? This is where United will need patience. They will need movement. They will need players making runs beyond the defense. They will need quick passing combinations to unlock the Fulham block. Bruno Fernandes will be crucial in finding the key passes. Amad and the left winger will need to take on their fullbacks in 1-versus-1 situations. Casemiro and Mainoo might need to support attacks more than they did against City and Arsenal. Set pieces could also be important. When teams defend deep, corners and free kicks become big opportunities. United have height in their team with players like Maguire, Martinez, and Højlund. Delivering good balls into the box and attacking them with purpose could make the difference. The crowd at Old Trafford will also play a part. The fans will need to stay patient if United do not score early. Creating a positive atmosphere even if the game is tight will help the players keep believing and keep pushing for that breakthrough goal. Some people might look at Fulham as just another mid-table team. They might think United should win this easily at home. But that kind of thinking is dangerous in football. Every Premier League match is difficult. Every opponent can cause problems if you do not respect them. For Manchester United, this match is huge for several reasons. First, it is a chance to make it 3 wins in a row under Carrick. That would build even more momentum and confidence. Players would start to really believe in what the manager is doing. The dressing room atmosphere would improve even more. Second, it is a chance to show they can win different types of matches. Beating City and Arsenal was impressive. But can they also grind out wins against teams who defend deep? This is what separates good teams from great teams. The ability to find solutions to different tactical problems. Third, it is about climbing the Premier League table. United have had an inconsistent season and they are not where they want to be in the standings. Every 3 points matters. Home matches against teams outside the top 6 are games that United absolutely must win if they want to qualify for European competition next season. Fourth, it is about keeping fans engaged and excited. Old Trafford has not always been the fortress it should be this season. But the recent wins have brought back some of that energy. Another victory against Fulham would keep that positive feeling going. It would make fans believe that better times are coming. And finally, this match matters for Michael Carrick's future at the club. He is the interim manager right now, which means the job is temporary. But if he keeps winning matches, if he keeps improving the team, then maybe the club will consider making him the permanent manager. 3 wins from 3 matches would be a perfect start and would make him impossible to ignore. If you want to stay completely up to date with everything Manchester United, then you need to be following United Daily Updates. We are your most trusted source for accurate, reliable, and timely information about the club you love. On our YouTube channel, we bring you match previews before every game. We break down the tactics, discuss the team news, and give you our predictions. Then after the match, we provide detailed analysis of what happened. We look at what went well, what needs improvement, and what it means for the season ahead. We also cover all the transfer news. Not rumors and speculation, but actual facts about signings, departures, and contract situations. We know how frustrating it is to read articles with made-up information or players who do not even play for the club. That is why we do the hard work of checking everything before we share it with you. Our community is growing every single day. Thousands of Manchester United fans from all over the world come together on our channel to discuss the team, share their opinions, and support each other. The comments section is always buzzing with great conversations. We respond to comments. We listen to what you have to say. We value every single subscriber. For the Fulham match, we will have everything you need. Pre-match coverage looking at the lineups and tactics. Live updates during the game if you cannot watch it. Post-match analysis breaking down every key moment. Player ratings so you can see who performed well and who struggled. All of it in one place, all of it reliable, all of it focused on Manchester United. So let me wrap this up and bring everything together. We started by looking at an article that predicted the Manchester United lineup for the Fulham match. At first glance it seemed normal. But when we looked closer we found 3 players listed who do not actually play for Manchester United. Bryan Mbeumo plays for Brentford. Matheus Cunha plays for Wolves. Benjamin Sesko plays for RB Leipzig. None of them will be wearing the famous red shirt at Old Trafford this weekend. We explored why these mistakes happen in football media. The pressure to produce content quickly. The confusion between transfer rumors and actual signings. The use of automated systems. Whatever the reason, it highlights how important it is to have trusted sources you can rely on for accurate information. We then looked at what the real Manchester United lineup should look like using actual players from the squad. Lamans in goal. A back 4 of Dalot, Maguire, Martinez, and Shaw. Casemiro and Mainu in midfield. Bruno Fernandes pulling the strings. Ahmad on the right. Rashford or Garnacho on the left. Hodgland leading the line. That is a team that can beat Fulham if they perform to their potential. Michael Carrick has started his time as interim manager brilliantly with wins over City and Arsenal. Now he faces the test of breaking down a defensive team at home. This is the kind of match that defines seasons. This is where consistency is built. This is how you climb the table and qualify for Europe. Manchester United have real quality in their squad. They have experienced players like Casemiro, Bruno, and Maguire. They have exciting young talents like Mainu, Ahmad, and Garnacho. They have a manager in Carrick who understands the club and knows what it takes to win. If everyone performs to their ability, then 3 points against Fulham should be achievable. The fans at Old Trafford will create an amazing atmosphere. The players will give everything they have. And hopefully by the final whistle, Manchester United will have won their 3rd consecutive match under Michael Carrick. That would be a statement. That would be progress. That would be exactly what this club needs right now. Thank you so much for reading this detailed breakdown. I hope it cleared up the confusion from that original article and gave you a much better understanding of what to expect from the Manchester United vs Fulham match. Remember to subscribe to United Daily Updates on YouTube if you have not already. Turn on notifications so you never miss our content. Join our community of passionate Manchester United fans. And most importantly, let us all get behind the team this weekend and cheer them on to another victory. Come on United. Let us make it 3 wins in a row. Let us keep this momentum going. Let us show everyone that Manchester United are back on track. The match kicks off this weekend and we cannot wait. See you in the comments section after the game where we will be discussing everything that happened. Until then, stay red, stay passionate, and stay loyal to the greatest club in the world. Glory, glory Man United.